Right on! Time to boogie!
Did you ever want to travel the world? Meet new people?
The name is Natalia. I'm here to help you, spaceman. Or do you prefer Mr. President?
Then it is true! You are an alien! We worship you, O Lord from beyond!
See incredible sights you've never seen before. Call now and you can do all that and more with Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed for only $39.99. Spaceship not included. Hello there, this is he who knows 10,000 games, and in today's video I will be reviewing Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. As someone who never had the chance to play the originals, I wanna say that the remake of Destroy All Humans was a hit with me. But more on the first part in my review of Destroy All Humans, which I will make at some point in the future. But for now, let's focus on the sequel. The story. You are Crypto, a member of a technologically advanced alien race called the Furons. I say technologically because they sure aren't enlightened. Crypto is a chauvinistic anti-hero after all. Now, unlike your predecessor in Destroy All Humans, you have a package, which means you can procreate. Upon discovering this, your enemies destroyed your mother base and now it's time to confront their collective hive mind of the Bliskoviks. Or is it Bolsheviks? Well, one is a collective of workers that share the same ideas and work toward one goal under one supreme leader, and the other are Blisk. And as you can tell from this, the story is very wacky and also provided a credible explanation as to why the world is so divided and why the Cold War happened, as well as why humans thought the buildup of nuclear weapons was a good idea. Now let's dive into the good. The story starts off looking the same as the first one. However, it evolves later on and becomes its own thing. The game looks just as good as Destroy All Humans 1. Visually, it's a beautiful remaster. The colors are as vivid as in Teletubbies. I liked it. The colors, I mean, not the Teletubbies. Shut up. The humor for me is hit and miss. The one thing I did enjoy, however, with the jokes is that you can tell the game was made more than a decade ago when people weren't so damn sensitive to every single thing, and you would be allowed to chuckle at some jokes that would probably get the game cancelled today. But moving on. Now, I'm all for goofiness, but there is a lot of jokes about genitalia which are crudely implemented. A joke about genitals can be good if cleverly placed. On the other hand, there are some good ones. Like in a cutscene where after you defeat a mutated KGB agent and a certain British person starts complimenting you.
Forgive me, it seemed best simply to stand clear and give you room to do what you do so well. These Soviets are rather slippery fish. Yes, very slippery indeed, but they do crack.
That was a good, subtle joke. The gameplay is mostly as it was in the previous title, although it was improved in some parts. For example, saucer combat is better because you can control if you want to target straight or underneath you. The gunplay is pretty much the same, which is good. Just going around probing everybody with questions. Get your minds out of the gutter, people. The story started off slow, but in the middle it got more interesting. The game will also have you visiting different locations all over the world and one beyond the planet, which is a lot more interesting than it was in the first game. The disguise system works a bit differently as well. In order to reset the timer, you need to make people party hard. Another groovy addition. The skin customization is also present and well done, with some skins referencing movies like Austin Powers, 007 and several others. As you probably saw in the trailer, and probably many players of the original know, we also have a Gojira boss fight in Japan, which gameplay-wise was nothing special but visually entertaining. After all, it wouldn't be Japan without a kaiju fight of some sort. Now we come to the bad. Just a reminder here, the bad category are the things that I noticed but aren't that big of a deal for me. The animations are good, especially when considering that mocap still wasn't really a thing back in 2006. So for a remaster, it was okay. As I said in the previous section, the toilet humor jokes just aren't to my liking. Other times the humor is okay, but nothing that will win some sort of an award. I don't have a problem with the subject of the humor, I just wish it was more clever. There are a few bugs, I believe, with ninjas spawning on top of my saucer in Tokushima, or they were just the absolute best warriors in the galaxy. There were also a couple of bugs, but more on that in the ugly part of the video. Which is right now, the ugly. So, I did have a bug once that stopped me from completing a mission. There seems to be a problem with NPC pathing. For example, hypnotized NPCs try to follow me by strictly adhering to the law, by only crossing the street on a crosswalk. Similar thing happened to me in the first Tokushima mission when escorting Natalia. The mission was done, but she couldn't seem to take that last step that was required to trigger the cutscene. Cat owners know the feeling. It's just the same when you open the door for your cat for it to go outside, yet it just stands there thinking about the meaning of life or stuff like that. So I had to redo the whole thing. The only place it didn't happen was in Tunguska, so maybe the devs were trying to once again give us the realistic feeling of what it's like to live in Russia. And another thing, once I reached Tunguska, the game started freezing occasionally for a couple of seconds. Maybe that was by design, in order to impress upon us just how cold it really was. But I suspect not, as the same thing happened in some missions on the moon, which now that I think of it is also cold. Another reminder here, the ugly is the stuff I noticed which did bother me enough to lower the game's rating. So let's move on. The game is short, but the price is lower as well, so I guess I can let it slide. The game feels way easier than the previous title, except in one or two fights towards the end when the game switches genre into bullet hell. And in conclusion, I wanna say that the story, visuals, gameplay, and the goofiness of the game provide a lot of fun moments, and the destructibility of the environment doesn't hurt as well. I didn't expect a modern game or anything revolutionary. I just expected a decent game and a fun experience, which for the most part is what I got. This is why I give the game a 7.5 out of 10k. The NPC pathing is a problem for me, and the game could have been a bit more challenging. The freezing issue definitely impacted the gameplay experience, but overall it was an enjoyable experience. So that's it for me. I know this has been a short review, but as the game itself is short, there just wasn't that much to talk about. Now tell me, would you like to see a Destroy All Humans 3 in the future? I know I would. A sequel cleverly placed somewhere in the last 3 years would have a lot of comedic potential. Dark humor though, but humor nevertheless. As if all we needed on top of everything going on in the world today was an alien invasion. So how did you guys like the game? Did you have fun, and do you think a sequel would be a good idea? And what would you like to see in it? Now do what the screen says and leave a comment down below. I try to read every comment I get, which is pretty easy at the moment. And I guess I'll see you in the next one, guys.